Well, this is the reading for the solemnity of the Ascension of the Lord in Year A, and it focuses on the call to baptize, and it takes Matthew's Gospel reading for this. Now, there's the doctrine point that you should always read, which I won't always read, but I am today. I wouldn't always read it here. Jesus called his followers to make disciples of all nations and to baptize them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teach them to obey everything he had commanded them. Jesus promised to be with them to the very end of time. A thing that I would like to add here is an interesting point. Matthew's Gospel recounts an experience of Jesus appearing back in Galilee as he promised. And you will notice that it doesn't actually connect with the actual moment of the Ascension, because Jesus ascended just outside of Jerusalem, and that was another moment again. So that's something that you might like to think about yourself and read the Gospels closely to come to the understanding of that. The materials you need are the figures of the 11 apostles from the Cenacle, obvious 11, not 12, and the risen Christ, the risen Jesus, taken from the risen Christ diorama. Then you need the magnetic map of Israel to indicate where this took place, in Galilee in this case. So this is how the presentation goes. And you can do it, by the way, in a number of different ways. I've chosen to align the characters so that some have already arrived to the mountain place where they were headed and others on the way there. And just notice the figurines that have been chosen. In the gospel characters, usually included an Our Lady, Mary, and obviously she would have been there. It's that he appeared to many people who were his disciples. They weren't just the 12. So, and so there probably were others there too, which I've chosen to include a few of the gospel character figures that would be disciples of Jesus as well. So here's how it goes. After Jesus rose from the dead, he appeared many times, and today's gospel helps us to reflect on the time he appeared in Galilee and gave his followers some important instructions. This is where you might show where Galilee is in relation to Jerusalem. So Galilee is up here, close to the lake, the sea of Galilee, or Lake Tiberias. That's the whole green region there. They had to walk all the way up there. It would have taken them a few days to do that when they were going. That's Jerusalem, where they were. This is Bethany here, and Jesus probably rose into heaven there. St. Matthew's Gospel, by the way, may mention the Ascension, but it doesn't have to have happened at that moment. Okay? So this, you'd show the children, keep it simple. The children won't need to have known that in particular. It might just confuse the issue. But this, you may not have the time, or it might not be appropriate to do all that unpacking. But basically, it's very good that you've kind of built an awareness within yourself about that. It's enough just to show them the place and where the apostles went, or the disciples went from, to reach up there to Galilee. So let's light our candle. The 11 disciples set out for Galilee, to the mountain where Jesus had directed them. When they saw him, they fell down before him, as though some of them hesitated. And Jesus came and spoke to them. All authority in heaven and on the earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations and baptize them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Oh dear, these things can happen. And teach them to observe all the commands I gave you. And know that I am with you always, yes, to the end of time. I wonder why some of the disciples recognized and believed it was Jesus who appeared to them, but others hesitated. That's something really interesting to ponder. And I think it's good for the children to understand, and we as adults and catechists, we ponder as well. And they're deep things, and we have to be immersed in the time and the place and the situation to go deep and understand how that could have been possible. Was it that he appeared in a different form? Was it they were looking from a distance and they weren't up that close that they could see him, some of them? Was it that some of them just wondering if they couldn't believe their eyes, what their eyes were telling them? So there are different thoughts about that, and it's for each one of us to meditate. And the children the same. It takes a lifetime of meditating and research that's available to us today. Another I wonder question can come from this little extract. Jesus told them, go and make disciples of all nations and baptize them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Now, I wonder if that message was only for those disciples, or those 11, if there were only 11, or was it meant for others too? I wonder how this message of Jesus has made a difference in our own lives today. Jesus said as well, know that I am with you always, yes, to the end of time. And he's here talking to the 11 disciples, by the way. But he says he's going to be with them, meaning us too, to the end of time. I wonder what Jesus meant when he said this. I will be with you until the end of time. I wonder if we, like the disciples, are also sent by Jesus and what he wants us to do